So I love that we're doing a Thanksgiving special where we're pointing out Republican hypocrisy.
It's fun. It's my favorite.
Yeah, that's what we're really thankful for. They give us all this rich material.
No, but like the hypocrisy never gets called out in mainstream media, right? So it's wonderful that we get the opportunity to talk about these things. And one of my favorite examples actually features Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. There were old videos that surfaced of them during Bill Clinton's impeachment. And if you notice, the way that they spoke about impeachment during Bill Clinton's era is very different from how they speak about impeachment today when it comes to Donald Trump.
To which I say, of course it is. But what's awesome is two things. One, being able to see it with your own eyes. Like, oh my God, we should impeach for everything. I don't care. Two, we shouldn't impeach for anything. We shouldn't impeach for. You're gonna see it in a second. But also that they still don't realize we have you on tape.
Yeah.
So here it is.
The point I'm trying to make is you don't even have to be convicted of a crime to lose your job in this constitutional republic.
That's Senator Lindsey Graham back in the 1990s talking about impeachment in regard to Bill Clinton, obviously a Democrat. Now that Lindsey Graham is very different today as a sycophant for Donald Trump, but I want to give you some more context into what Lindsey Graham said back in the day. So let's take a look.
The point I'm trying to make is you don't even have to be convicted of a crime to lose your job in this constitutional republic. If this body determines that your conduct as a public official is clearly out of bounds in your role, because impeachment is not about punishment. Impeachment is about cleansing the office. Impeachment is about restoring honor and integrity to the office.
Cleansing the office, restoring honor and integrity. Oh, what happened, Lindsey? Well, you know what? We actually have an answer because he was confronted about it. But before we get to that, Cenk, thoughts?
No, I just love every part of that. Look, guys, this is why people hate politicians.
Yes.
And you never hear people on TV saying, because they're all friends with politicians. And the reporters at New York Times, et cetera, they need access. And it's not their job, to be fair to them, to say this. Although you could point out in an article that according to polling, Americans hate politicians. It's because of guys like Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. And so Lindsey Graham, when it's a Democrat, I don't even need a crime. I don't like him. I find him dishonorable. So I'm just gonna impeach him for something that is perfectly consensual because I didn't like it. I don't need any standards for impeachment. Trump, he committed crime after crime after crime. I know, but I'm trying to convince him to invade Iran. So honor, I don't need that. Integrity, okay, I don't even care that he committed crimes. I mean, this hypocrisy, it's so obvious. It's so obvious.
It's so good and it's so delicious. I love pointing this kind of stuff out. Now, obviously the topic of impeachment has come up several times before. This is the first time Democrats have finally decided to pursue a formal impeachment inquiry. But back in 2018, when the topic of impeachment came up again, there was an interview that Vice did with Lindsey Graham, and they confronted him about his previous statements. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
There's some comments you made back in 1999 that are back in the news today for some reason. Don't you think those words apply today?
I think they always apply, and finally somebody's listening. It took 20 years for somebody to figure out what I said in 1998. So welcome to the dance. Here's the deal. If Mueller finds some evidence of Trump colluding with the Russians where he knew or should have known, that would be probably it for me. Other stuff, not so much.
But you said in 1999 that the president doesn't even have to commit a crime. He even wagged his finger. Doesn't have to commit a crime. We want to restore honor and integrity. That's what we want to do, honor and integrity. Doesn't even have to commit a crime.
Yeah, well, now,
come on.
I mean, but you just saw him say on tape. I mean, if there was evidence of him colluding with the Russians, then that would, that presumably would get him to impeachment. Well, congrats, it's not the Russians, it's Ukraine. It's very clear, and Donald Trump has admitted it. He colluded with Ukraine to get dirt on his political opponent, Joe Biden. Period. You don't need quid pro quo, and Lindsey Graham didn't mention quid pro quo there. He didn't say, okay, if this or that. No, it's just, do you collude with a foreign government on interfering in our elections? That's exactly what Trump did in the case of Ukraine, and the favor he asked to target Joe Biden. So even by Lindsey Graham's shifting standards, he should still vote for impeachment. But on the other hand, I'm a politician and I'm a slime ball, and I can't wait to invade Iran because I love wars. Where's my Czech military-industrial complex? Raytheon, I'm here for you, don't worry.
Shifty Lindsey. All right, so just so you guys really visualize the changing perspectives of Lindsey Graham, depending on who's president at the time, let's take a look at Graham then versus now.
If you determine that he committed the crime of perjury, and you determine that he committed the crime of obstruction of justice, based on the precedent of the Senate, I think you'd have a hard time saying under the situation in this case that that's not a high crime. He doesn't have to say go lie for me to be a crime. You don't have to say let's obstruct justice for it to be a crime. You judge people on their conduct, not magic phrases. To impeach any president over a phone call like this would be insane.
But Lindsey Graham's not alone. There are others, including Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Before I move on to him, did you want to add anything else?
I'm just going through old tweets of Lindsey Graham, not about Bill Clinton, but about Donald Trump during the primary. If we nominate Trump, we will get destroyed and we will deserve it. Last night, if you were looking for competency, Donald Trump fell short. And then I got this great one about Putin. He says, just when you think it can't get worse, a leading American candidate for president praising Putin. So back when he was running against Donald Trump, you don't have to go back to the 1990s. He's like, even praising Putin was of deep concern to Lindsey Graham. Now he's like, oh, well, I mean, if he's working with Putin, that's great. When do we invade? Let's bomb. I'll take Venezuela. It doesn't have to be Iran. I'll take North Korea as long as we start a war. World's biggest hypocrite.
Honor and integrity. Now, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell also had some strong statements in regard to impeachment today versus impeachment back in the 1990s. So let's focus on what McConnell's been saying about impeachment today. It's laughable to think this is anywhere close to an impeachable offense. If this is the launching point for House Democrats' impeachment process, they've already overplayed their hand. Also, the Kentucky Republican made no mention of the transcript or impeachment inquiry on his social media accounts, while his office also stayed silent, having only issued a press release on the matter the day before the White House's records were released. Now, when it comes to Bill Clinton and the impeachment process back in the 1990s, things were very different for Mitch McConnell. According to Newsweek, in a transcript of McConnell's comments in a February 12, 1999 closed-door Clinton impeachment hearing, the GOP senator condemned Clinton for having chosen a path of lies and lawlessness in a desperate bid to stay in office. In fact, he was quoted as saying, "Time after time, the president had the opportunity to choose the noble and honorable path. Time after time, he chose the path of lies and lawlessness for the simple reason that he did not want to endanger his office on his hold on public office. The president would seek to win at any cost." It sounds a lot like Donald Trump. If it meant lying to the American people, if it meant lying to his cabinet, the name of the game was winning at any cost.
Washington Post fact checkers say that as of August 5th, so we're now way past that, Donald Trump had told 2,019 falsehoods or misleading claims. So Mitch McConnell, who pretended to care, well, I mean, look, there's no law breaking or anything by Bill Clinton, but oh my God, he told a lie. He once told a lie about a consensual affair. I am so moved by that. I have to impeach, I don't have a choice. Donald Trump has told 12,000 lies while in office. Well, golly gee, I don't think lies make really much of a difference at all. I know what they're hanging their hat on. Oh, well, look, the Bill Clinton we dragged in front of a grand jury, in front of a proceeding where he had to swear, and so it was sworn testimony, etc. Donald Trump refused to cooperate with prosecutors, so he never had to do that, right?
Right, he was never under oath, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's the read you want to hang all of your things on, God bless, go forward. But every American knows, look, was Bill Clinton always honest? No, of course not. The one lie he told about Monica Lewinsky, you think that was his only lie? No, he told many, many lies. But if you're talking about being concerned and impeaching people based on lies, even the MAGA guys know Donald Trump has told way more lies than any politician ever, right? So they might not concede that, but they know he's told more lies than Bill Clinton, and they know he lies on a regular basis. So Mitch McConnell with the, oh my God. Whenever it's a Democrat, they always get the vapors.
Oh, always.
Right, they're like,
always.
oh, I do declare, this is outrageous.
Remember the constant panic over Obama's executive orders?
Oh, yeah. Now they're like, no, of course you have to do executive orders.
Yep.
Well, obviously, how else would you run the government? Okay, so now I'm gonna give you one last one from Lindsey Graham. This is now after he got beat in the primaries. Now he's trying to befriend Donald Trump. So there's Lindsey Graham who was like, hey, oh, Bill Clinton should be impeached on anything. I don't know, he walked on the wrong side of the road, right? Now he's like, no, you shouldn't do impeachment even if there's crimes. Okay, then there's Lindsey Graham who hated Donald Trump. Then there's Lindsey Graham who's now kissing his ass, right? So he goes to play golf with Donald Trump. This is now in the ass kissing period, right? So somebody asked him, how'd you do against Donald Trump? Now remember, by the way, Trump also cheats in golf. So Golf Magazine covered that way before he was president. He'll constantly just pick up balls and throw them. Like, right? He once picked up a ball that wasn't even on the green, like, oh, that's obviously it. Anybody who knows Trump knows, and they'll say like, well, look, I like the guy, he's fun, but is he lying? Of course, he lies all the time, he cheats all the time. Anyway, so Lindsey Graham says about the golf outing, how bad did he beat me? I did better in the presidential race than today on the golf course.
Oh my God.
Great fun, great host.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so sad.
I have to say, look, there are just countless downsides to this Trump presidency, but you got to take your wins where you can get them.
Yeah.
And one of the wins is how Donald Trump very effectively unmans these Republicans, especially the war hawks.
Yeah, you know that Donald Trump doxed Lindsey Graham. Literally put out his phone number. And everybody started calling him with death threats, the Trump supporters.
Beta.
So he had to get a new phone. After one of the meetings, in the White House, Lindsey Graham said, oh, how good did it go? Well, I gave him my new phone number.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so sad. That's wonderfully sad. Look, Mitch McConnell is the heart of darkness and the worst politician in the country, I would say, including Donald Trump, because he keeps corruption going. Trump's an idiot, he's into personal corruption. Mitch McConnell built the machine of corruption, systemic corruption, where the donors buy off all of our politicians. But when it comes to sniveling politicians, I think Lindsey Graham even has McConnell and Ted Cruz beat.
Yeah, definitely, I totally agree.
He is the snivelingest of them all. That, of course, was awesome. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.